Hi crafters, come on in. Welcome back to Cricut Creations with Charlease, where we're learning how to use our Cricut machines together. Today, we're going to personalize a mug. Let's get started. Let's talk about supplies that we're going to be needing today. Of course, we need our mug. We need some alcohol and something to clean our mug off to make sure that there's no oil or dust or anything on the mug. We're going to need a measuring tape so that you can decide just how much space you're going to use on your mug. We'll need some transfer tape, and we're going to need some vinyl. And you know your girl, she likes glitter. So this is what I'm working with today because I'm making this mug for myself. This is the vinyl that I'm using. It's what is it? 405, and this is a brand that I get from Hobby Lobby. It was $6.99, and it's 12 inches by 48 inches. Okay. I've not worked with this before, but I'm hopeful that it's gonna work well. Let's see, is there anything else we need? I think that's pretty much it. Of course, you know we need our mat and everything, and I've already, as I usually do, created my design, but we're going to go through a faux design so that we can do a step-by-step, okay? So I've already cut my vinyl and laid it on the mat, and because this is not heat transfer, okay? This is, oh, and make sure if you're doing something like a mug that you get permanent vinyl, okay? Because we want this to stay. Even though we're not going to put it in the dishwasher, it's going to be washed. So permanent vinyl is what we want. I was getting ready to say something, but I forgot. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to turn you around. Okay, we're in design space. Let's go to the top right hand corner here and click on new project. And I'm going to do a blank canvas. Okay, let's come over here because I'm wanting to do I'm going to do something like pumpkin spice mug. So I had already typed in pumpkin spice looking for some stuff. So I'm just going to click on pumpkin spice. We got a lot of really neat designs. And this is just for, ooh, I like that. That's really pretty. But I'm just going to go for something very basic. I'm just going to go for this, like this little pumpkin spice latte. Let's see. What is that sound? Hold on a second, guys. Okay, I don't know what that was. I think the air conditioning came on, and then something that was hanging on the door started bouncing around. I think I'm going to go with this one, this pumpkin. This is cute. This would be cute on a mug. Okay. Yeah, that's cute. All right. Now, this just by itself would be perfectly fine. But just suppose you wanted to personalize it. Okay? So why don't we just add some text? Let's see. Come on, let me in. All right. I'll just pick a name. Jan. Okay. Actually, that name's kind of, how about Janice? Make it a little longer. Okay. And if you didn't like that, that particular font, which is the Cricut Sans, which is like that basic, you could pick another one. This is cute. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's close this out. All right. And this is going to be one color. So let me see if I can find a color. Yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so now that looks good. That looks good. Now, if you measured your mug, okay, just say, for example, you only have like 4 by 4 inches, okay, and you want to make sure that you will be able to get this all on your mug. Let's see how big it is right now. Right now it's 4.98 by 5.4, 5.04. So we want to bring that down some. Okay. It doesn't have to be exactly. All right. So we brought it down to 3.96 inches by 4.01 inches. And that way we know that the entire thing is going to fit. All right. While we have it all selected, let's go up here and make, because we want to make sure that the Janice and the pumpkin spice is aligned, okay? So let's go up here to the top, click on Align, and we're going to center horizontally. And you see Janice moved over a little bit. So now everything is aligned properly. Now, if you look over here to the right, you see that we have 2 layers. If we were to cut this now, you'd have Janice on one mat and pumpkin spice on another. So we don't want that. We want the entire thing to cut together. As a matter of fact, let me show you, you real newbies. You see Janice is one thing, and it moves by itself, and pumpkin spice is by itself. All right. Now, since I did that, I need to go back in and realign everything. Okay. All right. So we're going to select the entire project. We're going to go up here and align, center horizontally, and you see Janice moved. And we're at 3.96. I said we had about 4, our imaginary measurements that we got were 4 by 4. So I still need to come, let's see, the 4 by 4. I need to bring that up a little bit. Okay, so we're at 3.96 by 3.99, and that's good because we know it'll fit. All right, now we got 2 separate layers, and we don't want that. So we're going to come down here to the bottom, and we're going to click on Attach. And now everything is one layer. All right. We would move this up some because we don't want to waste our vinyl. Okay. And then we'd come over here. Let's see. Click on Make. Yeah, I don't want to save this project. Okay. And there it is on the mat. And because this is not HTV, we do not want to mirror it. Okay, so we just leave that alone. And then we would click on continue and go over and load our mat and all that good stuff. But we're not going to do that with this one. I'm going to pull up the one that I saved that I want to put on my cup. Okay, so I'm going to click on, instead of continue, I clicked on cancel. Okay, I don't want to save this, so I'm going to highlight the whole thing. And I'm going to come over here and put it in the trash. Delete. Okay. Now, let's go. They just did an update. Okay. Let's see. All right. We're going to go to my stuff. And I'm going to click on the one that I chose. Or the one that I created for my cup. All right. We're going to come down here to customize so that you can see what's going on here. All right. Now, on one side of my cup, I'm going to put Charlease, Wake Up and Be Awesome. And then on the other side, I'm going to put this lady with her weights. I'm on a fitness journey and I'm encouraging myself. So I have already attached the two together, so I have one layer. All right. So I am good to go. I think that's going to look good if it works. The lettering. I've only done 2 mugs for as long as I've had my Cricut machine, and so this will be my 3rd mug. Okay, so we are ready to make it. So click on make. All right, and like I said before, because we're using vinyl, not HTV, not heat transfer vinyl, we're not going to mirror it. Okay, and we're going to click on continue. Did I turn my machine on? Nope. I need to turn my machine on. Okay. Design Space is looking for my machine. It found it. And this is not glitter iron on. I'm going to say, I'm going to say premium. Trying to decide what kind of vinyl. It's not, is it, well, because it's glittered, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to click on, well, you know what? Let's look and see if there is a vinyl glitter. So let's see. Bear with me, guys. We are learning together. That's cardstock. That's fabric. That's felt, foam, foil, iron-on. A lot of iron-on. Leather. Paper. I guess this is in alphabetical order. Oh, there's vinyl. Okay. Ah, there's glitter vinyl. Okay. So, let's see. Let's click on, I want to make sure I save that. And then we're going to click on that because that's what we're going to use. Okay. And you see it says glitter vinyl. And I'll leave it at the default because Design Space has a default setting for glitter vinyl. Okay, so I don't think I need to mess with that. Now, I've already put my vinyl on my mat. So I'm just going to go over and load my vinyl. Okay, let's load. And let's go. Okay, let's unload. All right, let's click done. And I'm going to leave the project up so that I can see all the little nooks and crannies that I need to weed out. Crafters, it's probably 30 minutes later from the last time I was recording, and you talk about a nightmare. Reading is fundamental, and if I had read, I would not have had the problems that I had. It clearly states on here, you probably can't see that, but it says use cutting machine setting for glitter iron-on. And I didn't do that. I tried using premium vinyl, whatever, because, you know, this is vinyl. So I did not read that. And as a result, I was unable to, the first time I put it through, it didn't cut at all. And then so I came back and I changed it from the default cutting setting to more. You can do default, more, or less. So I set it at more. And it cut, but not really. So the lettering, it was just impossible to get that to weed that. Now I did manage to weed this part, and it was hard, but I did get it weeded, so I'm able to use that. So I went back and I cut another piece of vinyl, and I cut it at the glitter iron-on setting like the instructions said, and it appears to be cut. So I'm just going to get started here to let you see that it is, yeah, it did cut. See that? It's amazing how things work out when you read the instructions, right? So I'm going to go ahead and finish weeding this off camera, and then I'll be back. When I was struggling with that, those other settings, I was thinking to myself, I will never use this vinyl again. But it was operator error. I'll be back. Weeding is done, and it looks great. Just think, it would have looked great the first time I did it had I read the instructions, right? But we're learning how to use our Cricut machines together. All right, so now I need to add my tape. Yeah. And I think I'm going to take it off of the mat and then add the tape. Okay. That is pretty. If it works, it'll be worth all the aggravation that I went through. Let's see if I can get this tape. How about, I start to say, how about I get this off and then come back, but I think I got a corner here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, I want to make sure the whole project is covered. And it is. And where is my, well, I don't see my little squeegee. I'll use this one. Okay. We smooth it down on both sides. Try to get a good contact between the tape and the project. Okay, now let's clean up our mug. With the rubbing alcohol. Okay. And I wiped it with the other side to make sure that it's dry. Okay. So, oops, I put my fingers on it. I think I'm going to put that on this side. I'm going to put the words on this side, facing me when I'm drinking, and then I'm going to put the lady with the dumbbells on the other side. Okay. Now, hopefully, the letters will come up. Let's see. Can you see that? I'm pulling the backing off. Oh, so far, so good. Okay. Now, I have a cup cradle, and I will link this one down in the description box. It has measurements on the side. All right. This is not necessary, but it's a nice thing. It's like having another set of hands. I'm going to stand up so I can look down on this. Okay. And I want it a little low because when I'm drinking from the cup, I don't want my lips to touch the lettering. In the middle. Wait a minute. What is that dot up there? You get that? Oh, I'm glad I saw that. Okay, take a little squeegee. Rub everything down. Actually, it'd probably work even better if you do it with your hands. All right, guys. Let's see what we got. And if the letters come up with the tape, you just lay it back down. And then, rub it again until it does stick. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay. All right, guys. Look at that. See that? Wake up and be awesome. Ugh, I hope that glitter is showing up a little bit. All right, we got to do the other side. But I am so pleased with that. And we use the same piece of tape. Okay, we don't throw this away. All right. Take my other part of the project, and I'm going to lay this on top. Okay. Flip it over. Make sure that we got good contact. What is that? See that little, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little dot. See that? You have to be very mindful, guys, because, you know, everything sticks to this stuff, and if you are not paying attention, it'll end up on your project. And this is permanent stuff. So, okay. Well, the other side worked really well. I hope this one turns out as well. And I have seen several crafters say that it's best to pull the backing away from the lettering or your project. That, for the most part, it works better that way. Okay, so we're going to flip it over on the other side. And I'm telling you, this cradle is worth the investment. But it's not something that you absolutely have to have. Okay, let's see if this comes off like we want. And yes, it did. Yes, it did. Okay. Now let's place our girl. And she could be a little higher because I'm not drinking from that side, but I'm going to try to center it. Okay. Okay. Squeegee everything down. Put a little elbow grease in there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got. All right. Okay, let me put this over here because it can be used again. Where's, let's put it, did it come from? It came off of here. Or did it? Yeah, I think it. No, it came off of here. Got too many pieces of white paper on my desk, guys. And we just want to lay that back down so that we can use it again. Okay, all right. This can go in the trash. And looky, looky. Oh, gosh, girl. Guys, this looks good. I am well pleased with that. Yeah. All right. All right, guys. That's all I have for you today. Let's see. What did we learn today? Reading is fundamental. Make sure, as newbies, now I know seasoned crafters know this already. And, you know, I'm not seasoned with Cricut, but you really should make it a habit to read everything on the packaging, because you just never know. That's the lesson I learned. Okay? And even though I had to run around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to change the default setting and figure out how to get more pressure, and I was able, and it took way longer than it should have to weed this because I didn't have it at the correct setting. But once I read what the correct instructions and did what I was supposed to do, this weeded flawlessly. Okay? All right, guys. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.